two of the 7 suspects arrested in connection with the killing of rapper Kiernan Forbes and his friend Tebello Motsoane are expected to appear in court in Eswatini tomorrow. The defense in the case of the 2 men arrested in Eswatini says they're yet to receive a comprehensive application for the extradition process. Siyabonga Ndimande and his brother, as it appears, Malusi, were arrested in Mbabane about 2 weeks ago. Their legal representative is Sivesonke Ngwenya, who says that they'll only be able to proceed with the extradition hearing once they receive the full extradition application. Let's get you more on this. Bring in our reporter, SABC News Reporter in Manzini, Nhlanhla Jele, who joins us via our video link today. And Nhlanhla, also several moving parts here. I wonder, given what's being said by the legal representative of this pair, these 2 brothers, what can we expect in court?
Good morning to you, Ayanda, and to our viewers at home. Indeed, their legal representative, we did ask him if his clients are pleading guilty or they're agreeing to the charges that are brought against them. And he did say to us, unfortunately, client privilege. So unfortunately, he cannot divulge that information to us, but he does know that, as you have said it, they're waiting for the comprehensive extradition application that is expected to be made. They were expecting it on Friday. However, it was not submitted on time. So hopefully this morning, as he had said to us, they're going to get it and then they can move forward. And as we already know, this is a mighty process, also depending on what is contained in the application, as they are going to study this application this morning and present it in court tomorrow. We also do know, as we are here in Eswatini, that these 2 brothers actually moved here sometime in November, if I'm not mistaken, and one of the neighbors did say that they were part of the community. They were living amongst the community members. They were not troublesome. They were actually shocked that these people are wanted criminals in South Africa. So those are some of the things that we are also picking up on the ground to say that they lived here in Eswatini without causing any trouble. They were part of the locals, going to the shops, just like every other person that is here. We also do know that initially when they were arrested, the cases, or the charges rather, that were brought against them were that they were in the country illegally. However, those charges were not added to the current charge sheet that was presented to us. The charges are 5 counts of murder, of course, including that of AKA and Tebello, and 2 others that happened in South Africa shortly after the AKA and Tebello murders took place. We also do know that they lived in 2 houses, as I mentioned. So this morning we're just going to try to go to one of the other houses where they lived to speak to their neighbors, just for them to tell us how these people have been living in the community, how come they were not suspected of not being nationals in the country, or how they gelled with the people in this part of the country. And also, we'll try also to speak to their legal representative, who we understand this morning is meeting with the NDPP just to get that comprehensive application for the extradition. And then he'll let us know if possibly there'll be a postponement tomorrow or if they are going ahead. But he did mention to us yesterday that when they are meeting with his clients after he receives this application, then the clients will advise if they can carry on or deny the application. Ayanda?
What you've just said, Nhlanhla, is very important. This idea that it doesn't appear that these brothers were in Eswatini illegally. If the answer to that question is no, they were there legally, then the process of getting them back home may change slightly, right? Because there's been this debate about whether or not this is a deportation or an extradition that needs to take place.
And last week we reported that they are here illegally from the police spokesperson. However, those charges were not added to the current charge sheet because of some agreements they had with the police and the NDPP. Those are some of the things that we are not fully privy to. However, when they are appearing in court tomorrow, it will be for the extradition application to have them back in South Africa to face these charges. Of course, we do know from what the police spokesperson in Eswatini has told us last week that they were arrested for being in Eswatini illegally. We tried to speak to her when we arrived. Unfortunately for us, she says she cannot give us any further comments on this matter. So far we do know that they were arrested for being in the country illegally. However, charges changed when they started this process of appearing in court. Remember last week, Monday, they appeared in court and it was postponed to this coming Tuesday because they only applied for a provisional extradition application. So the comprehensive application will be the one that gives a clear direction as to what happens. And as you're saying, deportation and extradition is not the same. For example, with deportation, in such a case, the suspects would have to plead guilty to these charges and then they pay a fine. Charges of saying they are in the country illegally. However, because these charges are not added to the current charge sheets, they cannot go the deportation route. However, with deportation, it's quite easier to have these people released and dropped off at no man's land where they can easily disappear, and South African police would have to work again to capture them. Hence the process of extradition, where the two country states have an agreement and speak or agree on terms on how these people are going to be handed over to the SAPS in South Africa, where they'll be arrested, formally charged, and then they can go to court and start their bail hearing. Ayanda?
Fair enough. Nhlanhla Jele, part of our team, live to us there from Manzini in Eswatini. For now, thanks very much indeed. As you heard there, several legal steps still need to be taken before we can finally have all 7 of those accused of killing AKA and Tibz are in court, at least on this side of the border.